Good morning, boys and girls. It's Mrs. McNeil. Today, our worksheet is based on Zot's characters' feelings. We're not going to use Zot, though, because we don't have that book. So I am going to read The Invisible Boy. Now, this is what the paper is going to look like. You need to write about Brian's feelings, not Zot's. So, I'm going to read you the story, The Invisible Boy. Think about Brian and his feelings throughout the story in the beginning, middle, and end of the book. Can you see Brian, the invisible boy? Even Mrs. Carlotti has trouble noticing him in her classroom. She's too busy dealing with Nathan and Sophie. See, this is Brian. Notice how many children are all in color, but he is in black and white. Sophie whined and complained when she doesn't get her way. Nathan and Sophie take up a lot of space. Brian doesn't. When the bell rings for recess, Micah and JT take turns choosing kids for their kickball teams. The best players get picked first, then the best friends of the best players, then the friends of the best friends. Only Brian is left, still waiting and hoping. I wonder how he feels not being picked while everyone else was. JT glances in Brian's direction, and just as quick, he looks away. We've got enough players for each team, he tells the others. Let's play ball. How does Brian look? In the cafeteria, Madison and her friends talk about her birthday party. The rope swings over the pool was awesome, says JT. Yeah, so was the water slide, adds Fiona. That was the best pool party ever. I'm so glad you guys had fun, says Madison. Everybody did, except Brian. He wasn't invited, sitting all by himself. At choosing time, while the other kids play board games and read, Brian sits at his table, doing what he loves to do best. He draws fire-breathing dragons, scaling tall buildings, space aliens locked in intergalactic battles, greedy pirates digging for treasure, and superheroes with the power to make friends wherever they go. He's still in black and white, but he is drawing the pictures that he loves to draw. On Monday morning, Mrs. Carlotti introduces Justin, a new student, to the class. Brian smiles shyly at him. Some of the other kids sneak looks at Justin, trying to figure out if he's cool enough to be their friend. They haven't quite made up their mind yet. At lunch, Madison and JT watch Justin eat with chopsticks. What's that? Asks Madison as she points at Justin's food. And it's bulgogi. What? Bulgogi. It's Korean barbecued beef. My grandma made it for me. It's really good. Do you want to try some? There's no way I'd eat boogery. And the kids laugh. All of them, that is, except Brian. He sits there wondering, which is worse, being laughed at or feeling invisible? The next day, when Justin goes to his cubby to put away his backpack, he notices a piece of paper with his name on it. Justin, I thought the bulgogi looked good. Brian, yum. That was so nice of Brian. He drew a nice picture for Justin. At morning recess, Brian finds a piece of chalk on the ground and starts drawing away. Hey, Justin, Emilio calls out from the teeterball court. You're up next. You're Brian, right? Yeah. Thanks for the note. Sorry, I gotta go, says Justin. By the way, That's a really cool drawing, he adds, before taking off. Look closely at Brian. Does he look like he's all black and white now? I wonder why he's not. Back in class, Mrs. Carlotti asks the kids to team up in 2s or 3s for a special project. The kids scurry around the room to pair off. Brian heads towards Justin. I'm already with Justin, says Emilio. Find someone else. Brian looks at the floor, wishing he could draw a hole right there to swallow him up. Hey, Mrs. Coretti said we can have up to 3 people in our group. We're only 2. Come on, Emilio. Let's let him work with us. Okay, I guess. Oh my goodness. Look at Brian. Does he look black and white anymore? I wonder how he's feeling. Mrs. Carlotti gives the class directions for the project. Your assignment is to work together to write a story about what you see in that photograph. Use your imagination and have fun. Whoa, cool, says Emilio. What kind of people do you think would live in a house like that? I don't know, but I bet Brian could draw them to go. With our story, says Justin. Brian smiles as he takes out his lucky pen. He is fully colored. Look. They're all getting along. I wonder how Brian is feeling now that it's the end of the story. It's lunchtime again. Brian's least favorite part of the day. Another 20 long minutes of kids talking and laughing with everyone else but him. Brian, he hears someone shout. Hey, Brian, over here. Brian turns and sees Justin waving him over. Emilio nods to Brian as he makes room for him at the table. Maybe, just maybe, Brian's not so invisible after all. The end. So, like I said, this is the paper that we have about Zot. But we didn't read Zot's paper. We read about Brian. So, what you have to do, in the beginning, Brian felt how? Because, then draw a picture of Brian. In the middle, Brian felt how? Because, write why. In the end, Brian felt how? Because, and if you come over here, here are some of our feeling words. We have sad, which everybody uses. Let's use something different. We have under sad, we have disappointed, frightened, anxious, hesitant, miserable, uneasy, embarrassed, rejected, lonely, worried. And here are some words that also mean happy. Proud, satisfied, excited, joyful, thrilled, brave, confident, delighted. And over here we have words that also mean mad, angry, bitter, terrible, and frustrated. Think of all of those words. Try to use different words other than sad, happy, and mad. I would love to see your writing. So if you don't want to show it to me at the end when we finally see each other, you can feel free to message it to me or even text it to me. Have fun writing about Brian, not Zot. Miss you all.